now is the offensive coordinator for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks and the former head coach of the Ashville Bulldogs, that being John Gross. How are you, sir?
Doing great, doing great.
Now, you are a graduate, of course, of Ashville High School back in 1986. You had a pretty good head coach who's well known in the state, that being Raymond Farmer. Of course, being at Ashville, then being at Etowah. Talk about having Coach as your coach.
Well, I've been fortunate just to playing and coaching, be around good folks. And Coach Farmer's one of those. It was a pleasure playing for him in high school. Learned a lot of things from him, and it was a joy. Just had a lot of good times, a lot of good memories. Coach Farmer's the king of the one-liners. And just got a good coaching ability and did some great things coaching-wise. But it was a lot of fun. Whereas a lot of years ago.
Now, you were, of course, an all-state player for Asheville at quarterback.
Well, I played quarterback, safety, and then played basketball and ran track and all those things too.
So I'm pretty sure you were under Tuart as well.
Coach Tuart was my basketball coach, and we had some good basketball teams. We were one shot away from going to Auburn, in the Final Four deal, my senior year. So we had played with some good guys. Coach Tuart did a great job with us as well.
Now, after you graduated, you went to college and you went to
JSU. I'm back home at my alma mater, coaching, so that's been fun too.
Of course, you got your degree and everything. Now, you were a assistant for several years at Asheville, especially with that 92 team. And of course, Rush Probst is on this DVD. He's talked about that 92 team, and especially the year before, when he took over, Asheville wasn't that good. 2 years before the 92 season, y'all went 1-9. The following year, 7-3. Then he turned around and y'all went 12-2. Talk about that 12-2 team and just getting through the season, because I know y'all had some injuries early on, but y'all fought through, got to the playoffs, and y'all were just one win away from going to the state championship.
Well, that team, in coaching, you got some certain years you got a chance to win it, and that was one of those years. And what was fun for me is first time as a young coach to watch a group grow up, and they played as sophomores. We took our run as sophomores. Come back as juniors, and we're so close to making the playoffs, and we'd have made a run that year as juniors, and had some injuries on that team as well, and then come back as seniors and had a chance to win it all. And really, Scott Countryman, I still say that if he don't get hurt in that semifinal game, we probably do win, because that was a state championship game there. But that was just the toughest. I hadn't coached a group that's any tougher, any stronger, percentage-wise, how many guys we put on the field. That was a strong football team. Just tough mentally and physically, and those guys we were running into each other now. They just hug each other's neck, and got a lot of fond memories of that group.
You mentioned Scott Countryman. That's the one thing that everybody has mentioned with that the injury that he had, and of course Coach Probst went into detail with it. He said that the trainer came over to him and said he can't come back to his scapula, and of course Coach didn't believe her at first, but of course I think he had moved Jeremy Jones.
We did, and Jeremy had to go from the wing and slot to play in the tailback, and I was calling the plays then, and coach defense, you coach both sides of the ball, but changed our whole game plan. And really, even after Scott got hurt on that first drive, we ended up scoring. They called a touchdown back, which was really ball game too. On phantom hold clip call. Can see the play still in my head, but just Scott was that just attributes how tough those guys were. He played 2 more plays with a broke scapula. And it's like Dr. Lee Mack had told us, you don't see that unless it's in a car wreck and the guy's in a casket, and Scott had broke it, and like I said, it just changed that deal. But it was a phenomenal year, just to make that run with that group of kids, and how special that was, for those young men to accomplish it. And it was a lot of fun for me just being a part of that.
Now, I've talked to Coach Probst, and I've talked to several other coaches. I believe that staff that y'all had there for about 5 years was probably one of the best in the state. When you had Reagan Clark, Bill Clark, yourself, Murphy, David Easley, that was a pretty good staff, all in a matter of 5 years.
It really was, and like I said, I was fortunate to be around those guys, and starting out as a young coach, just learned so many things from Reagan Clark, to the group that was there, and feel fortunate and blessed that you got to start out around good folks like that that you was able to learn from and still use the same principles today in coaching. So I think Asheville was really blessed to have those guys together as a group and did some special things.
Now, after that 92 season, you went on and you were you went to Eufaula.
Eufaula for a couple of years, and then came back in '95 as a head coach. At Ashville.
Mama called back and said,
Mama called back. That's right. Got married to my wife Jada about that time, that April. That March, and we got back in April and went through spring training and kind of revitalized the program. We left and went to Eufaula. I think they won 3 games, in 2 years. So it was like 3-17. We came back and we built the program back like it should have been built. And in 5 years, we was real pleased. And a lot of people told me, "Oh, don't go back home and coach. It's a lot of pressure going back home and coaching." But
that was my next question.
Yeah, but really, not. I wouldn't take anything for those years. And I've always said, start out coaching as an assistant, come back home and be the head coach. It was just always a pleasure, and I got, my heart's still in Asheville. It's just see folks that's just home, and where you grew up, and it was always never a factor of me being from there and being a head coach. And was able to be successful, and coach girls basketball. Was successful there. I wouldn't take anything from my girls that played basketball at that time. It was just a fun time. Me and my wife didn't have kids, and you just poured your heart and your soul into what you were doing at that time, and there's been a lot of blessings come from that.
Talk about the pressure, because I know Farmer talked about it a little bit. Being the head coach of your alma mater, there's a lot of people that look at you and expect you to win immediately. It took you a couple of years, but you turned that program back around. I think in your final season, y'all went undefeated in the regular season.
We did, and we were 9-1 and 10-0 the last 2 years I was there before I went to Hoover. But I never looked at it that way. I guess had been an assistant before that kind of helped me a little bit. I kind of got out of the deal where folks look at you as John, and not looking at you as Coach Gross, So I'd gotten over that, as an assistant and established myself. So coming back and being a head coach, everybody looked at me as coach, and I think that's one of the factors of people going back home and coaching. I think some people are not able to get over that. But like I said, I think that was never a factor for me and never affected it. I think I tell people this all the time. I could have stayed at Asheville and been there, had a 30-year career there and been real successful and been content, really. So the Lord puts you in different places, and He's able to bless me where I've been. But like I said, it's a lot of fun for me at Asheville and special memories.
I've talked to several people. They said that you always plan out your next moves, and it seems like it's always the best move for you and your family. You went to Albertville, did good at Albertville. You went to Moody, turned Moody around. Then it seems like everywhere you've went, you've planned it out, and it seems like it's always the best decision.
Well, I let God be in control of that, and I let Him, open doors for me and shut doors, and a lot of prayer goes into that, and He has blessed me, and like I said, I can't say there haven't been struggles through that time, because there's struggles in moving and doing things, but when you let Him be in control of your life, He puts you where you're supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be coaching and letting Him use me to affect kids' lives, and I've never made it about me, it's not about me, and it's about that fact, and I think that's the reason why it's always been success there, and I do anything my great, wonderful coaching ability, because that's just the way I feel about it. I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah, for the past 2 years, head coach at Oxford. You did a pretty good run. Then your buddy, coaching gig here, and gave you a call. Talk about that phone call and becoming the offensive coordinator for a college school.
Well, college is not something I've just beat the door down trying to get in. It's always been something you wonder, hey, would you want to do that? Could you do that? So, me and him have had a conversation since he's been at South Alabama, and before that of working together again. We got to start out again, under each other, with each other, under his dad, which was a joy, and so we've always wanted to work together again. And this opportunity, so it was no brainer for me to accept the invitation to be coach, and it's been a lot of fun.
Now, so far, you guys are only 4-1. Pretty good season so far.
Well, bounce back with a conference against UT Martin. And our conference is very competitive, so every week you can qualify, and it's going to come down to a handful of plays, and hopefully we'll bounce back on the road this week against a very, very good team and come up with a win. And we've done everything from point A to point B to get us to where we're at, and hopefully we'll continue doing that day in, day out with the way we're working, and I'm proud of our players, how they've done so far. So, because we're a young football team. Like on offense, we've got, really, 2 seniors, and one of them's a tight end. It rotates in a little bit, and one lineman. So we got basically everybody back for next year.
That's good, Coach. You're truly a legend of Ashville High School, of course, being a graduate there. And I really appreciate you coming on and talking with us.
Well, I appreciate y'all thinking about me to have me on. And like I said, Asheville's always got a special place in my heart because it is home. It is where I graduated from. So, just love Asheville and have a lot of fond memories of Asheville in playing days and coaching days. But thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.